And we're live. Hello all and welcome, and I am the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing all right. Could be better, I guess. Could be worse. So, today I wanted to discuss... one second. Seem to be having an issue here. Pushed a button I shouldn't have. Hold on a second. Ugh. One moment, please. Houston, we have a problem. Son of a bitch. Boy, I'll tell you what, this live streaming software of mine sure is quite difficult to use at times. All right, might have to close this out. Fuck. Sorry about that. Well, looks like I can't do anything during the show other than live stream. Fuck. All right, let that be a lesson to you. Don't try to experiment with anything while you're fucking live streaming. So today, I wanted to start off the show by talking about Jordan Peterson's new website. Woo! I'm all on Twitter. Oh boy, this is so great. Jordan Peterson's going to save us all, this bastion of knowledge and goodwill. Yes, his new temple of free speech. It's so inclusive. Except it's really not. Except it's really, really not. Oh, boy. I tell you, Jordan Peterson is one of the biggest frauds out there today. I find it difficult to believe that anybody puts any stock in anything this guy says. It's a testament to how stupid people have become. I tell you, 150 years ago, a lot more people would have caught on to this guy's snake oil. But apparently IQs have dropped sharply. Yes, whether it be all the chemicals in our environment, all the crossbreeding, or both. Both. Whatever's going on, people being produced today, not too bright, at least white people. IQ has dropped considerably. The Qs of everybody else have stayed about the same as they were before. Oh, this is not good. Not good. Yeah, Jordy has opened a website called ThinkSpot. ThinkSpot. Ooh, wow, it sounds so wonderful, doesn't it? Yeah, such a simple yet elegant name. We're the ThinkSpot, where you come to think. Really? Are you sure about that? Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. This fucking guy, this is... By the way, I'm going to be releasing a video after this show showing just why Jordan Peterson is such a fraud. And he is. He is a big fraud. Hates white people. Hates white nationalism. He's a lefty. He tried to pass himself off as somebody who's a centrist, who then comments on both the left and the right. But no, he's on the left. He's on the left. He fears the right big time, and he conflates nationalism and patriotism with fascism. So, yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I've always thought this guy was a low IQ moron. I like some of the things he says about feminism, you know. He does express some negative views of the radical left, but not enough. He shows his true colors. He's a leftist. I mean, granted, I'll take that back somewhat. I won't say he's a complete low IQ moron, okay? I think he has above average intelligence, all right? And he's very well indoctrinated into his particular viewpoints. He's memorized all the talking points correctly. He's a very good fucking parrot. Otherwise, he doesn't impress me. Doesn't impress me at all. Just listen to this. So this is an article talking about his new website, which we'll take a look at when I'm done reading this. Yeah, this brilliant creation, this new home of free speech. He's this champion of radical individualism, which is nothing more than part of the Frankfurt School, one of their platforms for destroying your enemy, introducing the concept of radical fucking individualism as an ideology to your enemies to stop them from coming together and collectivizing so they can fight back against the takeover that's taking place by the left. Yeah. All right, listen to this. This is some bullshit. An upcoming free speech platform. Oh, really? This is so good. It's not even close to free speech, by the way. Promises to provide users the best features of other social media, but without the censorship. Well, you will see that's not true. The subscription-based... Wait, what? Subscription-based? You're going to have to pay money for this thing? So either it's one of two things. Either it's a free speech platform. Well, how is it free? There's nothing free there involved. I mean, the speech might be free on it, but it's not really. But it's certainly not free in terms of money. I mean, say what you want about Twitter and Facebook. At least they are fucking free to use. Well, there are costs, of course, your privacy, your personal information. But hey, if you don't mind giving those things up, yeah, if I don't mind giving away my freedom, I won't get security either, even though I thought I would. So, subscription-based. So it's either one of two things. It's either part payment processor platform to give producers of content money, in which case you would sign up and subscribe to certain content creators the same way you can on Patreon, which is either subscription-based or per content piece, donation-wise, or you have to pay to join it. That's not so inclusive. Well, I mean, I guess they'll accept anybody that has money. Jesus Christ. Well, already you're off to a bad start charging money. Why am I not surprised, though? This guy's all about money. Makes like $9 million a year off his crap, off his self-help crap. Self-help fucking guru, cult leader motherfucker. It's being marketed as a free speech alternative to payment processors like Patreon. Mm-hmm. So he's going to try and mix Facebook, Twitter with Patreon. Uh-huh. Yeah. But it may or may not be paid to join. Okay. And that it will monetize creators and also provide a social media alternative to platforms like Facebook and YouTube. If you want to pay to join. If you want to pay to join. Maybe. I'm not sure about that. Again, it could be the type of subscription that you do in regards to content creators on Patreon. So we'll have to see what that's like when it starts up. It's in beta testing now. So Peterson discussed ThinkSpot with podcaster Joe Rogan on June 9th. Yeah, Joe Rogan loves Peterson. Yeah, he's got another convert there in Joe, emphasizing a radically pro-free speech terms of service. This guy's free speech? Isn't this the guy that deplatformed Faith Goldie? Who he calls a radical righty because, well, you know, she has the wrong views. Wait, what? You say you're about free speech, but you deny people a platform who you disagree with. Mm-hmm. I see. Not so free speech there, Pinhead. I can't believe people continued to follow this guy after that. I mean, that right there. You know, that right there tells you everything you need to know about this guy's followers. He described, radically free pro-speech terms of service. He described that freedom as the central aspect, saying, once you're on our platform, we won't take you down unless we're ordered to by a U.S. court of law. You'll find out that's not true either. This guy is such a liar. You're a liar, Jordy. That will be a profound contrast to platforms that ban users for misgendering or have wrongthink, right? You know, like Faith Goldie and others you refuse to talk to. You know, if you're a white person who believes in nationalism or that you're superior in any way to any other race. It's very difficult to mimic his Kermit the Frog voice, but I'm giving it my best. Well, we don't even need to talk to you. Push you off to the side. Anybody remember when he said that? And then he goes on some other YouTuber shows and starts talking about how some races are actually superior in terms of IQ to other races. And explaining why they do so much better in the workforce and have so much more professional, high-paying jobs on average. It's like, well, geez, Jordy, aren't you talking about superiority? Aren't you talking about a specific race being superior to other races in some way? But didn't you just say that very view makes you somebody that we can just push aside and not even address, talk to, speak to, consider the opinions of it all? Wait, what? That means we don't need to listen to you, Jordy. Of course, his rules don't apply to him. And like any good leftist, you know, he's very good at cognitive dissonance. Oh, boy. Oh, that's not what I'm saying. That's very different from what I said. Right, yeah. Because your views only apply to white people, right? Which you don't consider yourself to be one of, right? But he is. He's whitey just like me. All right, so, yeah. This guy is such a fraud. He's such a fucking fraud. White people who like nationalism and believe that nationalism is good and in any way, shape, or form say that one race is superior to another race in any way. Okay, we don't need to talk to them like Faith Goldie or anybody else. They don't even get a platform. Oh, wait. I express those same views. Uh-oh. Idiot. What a moron. Oh, my God. So, yeah. This guy is going on to say, yeah, this will be a profound contrast to platforms that ban users for misgendering people who identify as trans or for tweeting, learn to code at fired journalists. Or say that some races are superior to other races in certain ways. Right. You know, like how many white heavyweight champions have there been in the past 50 years? Not too many. Uh-oh! By Jordy's definition, you can't listen to me. The only other major rule on comments he mentioned was, and by the way, what I was talking about was when Jordan Peterson was talking about Ashkenazi Jews. He mentions how they have, on average, an IQ that's one standard deviation higher, and since they start off at a higher base point in regards to their IQ, it explains why there's so many more of them in professional jobs like lawyers and doctors and such, and that they have overall superior intelligence. Jordy must be a white nationalist, as if that's an evil thing too, right? Again, he conflates white nationalism and patriotism with Nazism, fascism, you know, because being proud of your country, caring about your country, wanting to protect your country, feeling responsible for keeping it the way it is, maintaining it, having it continue into the future as an intact entity. Oh, no, that's evil. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Don't listen to this fucking guy. Get out! Get out now! Leave his cult now! So, yeah. Goes on to say the only other major rule on comments he mentioned was that they need to be thoughtful. Wait. Didn't he just say it was a free speech platform where we won't silence you? And the only way that you'll be ordered to take down a post is if it's ordered to be taken down by the U.S. Court of Law. That is, of course, if the post gets posted in the first place. We might just censor you and not post anything. I mean, sure, once it's posted, we'll never take it down. Unless, of course, there are some more caveats added here. There are some more conditions, right? Oh, boy. So, yeah, already there's some bullshit. Wait, what do you mean thoughtful? That's a very arbitrary label. Who gets to decide what's thoughtful? Well, the authority figure himself, Jordy P. What does he mean, thoughtful? I don't know what that means. What you think is thoughtful, I might think is crap. All right, so rather than suggesting that some opinions are off limits, Peterson said they will have a minimum required length, so one has to put thought into what they write. I don't know about you, but I've read some long crap, okay? I've seen some articles that were way more than 50 fucking words, and they were junk. Length of a post is in no way, shape, or form determinative of quality, of thoughtfulness. You people out there think this guy's intelligent? What? Do you know what a parrot is? Yeah, parrots can fucking memorize shit they hear, but they're not too bright. I mean, for a fucking animal, they're smart, but not as a person. He's just a dogmatic parrot. You idiots! Yeah, he's probably got an IQ that's one standard deviation above average, okay? He couldn't even get into law school, though, this guy. He couldn't even get into law school. This fucking guy, he wanted to be a lawyer before he wanted to be a shrink, but he flunked out of the test to get into law school, so he said, okay, my fallback position is to pursue a quasi-pseudoscience like psychology, where I can manipulate people, get them to give me their money. Woo-hoo. Yeah, because I'm a snake oil salesman, don't you know? Which is all fucking psychology is, one big snake oil fucking product. All right, so, yeah, you got to be thoughtful. I don't know what that means. Maybe Jordan Peterson will tell us. So if minimum comment length is 50 words, you're going to have to put a little thought into it. Minimum comment length? What? I don't know how 50 words or more is going to guarantee a quality post. And by the way, that's essentially him saying that it couldn't be thoughtful if it was less than 50 words. So stupid. I've said some pretty thoughtful and insightful things in less than 50 fucking words. Yeah, Peterson said, even if you're being a troll, you'll have to be a quasi-witty troll. Ooh, wow, he's so witty himself. Yeah, 50 words. So if I type, so automatically he's got requirements on my speech. So that's not free speech. That's not free speech. Hello, everybody, I want to talk. Wait a second, now we got some rules. Some rules outside of inciting violence and yelling fire in a crowded theater. Ooh, okay. I thought this was free speech, but okay, give me your rules. You must say more than X amount. It must be thoughtful. And it must be what I consider thoughtful. What I consider to be thoughtful speech. Whatever that means. And if I don't think it's thoughtful, you're out of here. And, what else? Well, there's more. All comments on the website will have a voting feature. Voting feature? Okay. Now, I wouldn't understand. Okay, let's see what this voting feature is. But I don't think voting features are so bad necessarily. Like a thumbs up, thumbs down, I like a comment, I don't like a comment. Just so long as those votes are as far as it goes, right? Okay, this is an unpopular comment. Just so long as those votes, be them positive or negative, don't have an effect on the visibility of the comment. Do they, though? Let's see. Yeah, and if your ratio of upvotes to downvotes falls below 50-50, then your comments will be hidden. This is fucking great. Well, that's censorship, isn't it? Okay, so Jordan Peterson said he wanted to escape the collective censorship that's going on Facebook and Twitter, the collectivist atmosphere, and he wants you to become a radical individualist. Yeah, critical theory, Frankfurt School, one of their main platforms for defeating their ideological enemies. Oh, yeah, I'm all for radical individualism until it comes to my website, which is going to be all about collectivism and collectively silencing people. But we don't have censorship here. We're a free speech platform. People will still be able to see these contents if they click them, that is. But otherwise, you'll disappear. Okay. I can imagine some, what's that word? Some mass flagging going on here. Brigading. I can imagine people brigading posts so that they disappear. I don't like his post. You like his post? I don't like his post. How about you, fellow lefty? You like his post? No, I do not. Well, let's go on our forum, talk about this pinhead's post, and get our friends to brigade it and downvote it so it disappears. Yeah, because we have no life, because we're radical leftists and we were fucking taught at university to spend all our fucking time being loser activists, to give our lives meaning. because this leftist bullshit has taken away meaning in our lives. Yeah, take away the meaning and then offer some meaning in the form of activism, pushing this radical leftist garbage. Yeah, we don't know if 50-50 is right yet, though. Well, whatever number. If people don't like what you have to say, they just silence you. So, I mean, isn't that a collective voice? Isn't that mob rule? Isn't that what you're supposed to be against, Jordy? What the fuck? Free speech platform. Provide users the best features. Yeah. Wow. So, must be thoughtful. Must be 50 words or more. And of course, I get to decide these things. You don't get to decide. It's my platform. I'm an authoritarian. I'm the authority. I'm the final word. I get to decide. I'm not just going to allow total free speech. Are you crazy? I'm a lefty too. So you want to speak here? You can speak. You got free speech, but no incitement of violence or riots or yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. I think we can all get behind that one. Gotta be long. Gotta be long-winded like me. Because I'm a blowhard, and I think that being long-winded means you're thoughtful. Because I'm not really that bright. And, gotta be thoughtful, gotta be long-winded, and if more than half of these people disagree with you, well, I'm sorry, you can't talk anymore. What? Isn't that the heckler's veto? Yeah, but, I want to call it something else because I want to continue to push the illusion of free speech. Well, not actually having a free speech platform. Ooh, I better be careful what I say or people will silence me. What? That's the opposite of a free speech platform. Are you kidding me? The total opposite is what this is. Oh, my God. When are you people going to figure out this guy is not your friend? Not your friend. He's a fucking chameleon of the highest order. He's masquerading as your friend, all right? His main ideological foes are people who want to conserve the country, are people who want to conserve traditional Western culture, and the people that he needs to stop from coming together and fighting back against this leftist tyranny are white people. It's no accident that those are the people who are drawn to his message most. He's specifically tailored it to attract those people. He's sophisticated enough to know how to use psychology to do that. He's a psychologist. Okay, so the platform, with its subscription-based service, will also directly subsidize content creators. Will directly subsidize? Probably through ads. Right, so he'll probably have ad revenue like, your content, if you post it on there, could be monetized just like on YouTube, but probably only if it thinks you're thoughtful and likes you. And if not, he'll demonetize you. But we're free speech. Not really. Peterson said that a handful of major free speech proponents, including Dave Rubin at the homo, he's real hard-hitting, real edgy, controversial. Not. Michael Shermer. He's that skeptic. Runs that Reason magazine or something. Skeptic magazine. I don't know. Carl Benjamin. What a fraud he is, too. Carl fucking Benjamin. Get out of here, Carl Benjamin. Fucking A. I don't like that fucking guy. Are on board to be beta testers for ThinkSpot. Oh, wow. Geez, it's really going to succeed. You got these faux righties, these faux centrists. Yeah. Peterson's daughter, Michaela. Isn't that the broad that had the baby out of wedlock? She got knocked up out of marriage and then later on decided to marry the guy, probably from pressure from her father. I have to maintain the facade of being a rational, reasonable person that knows what the fuck I'm doing. If I have a daughter that's a single mama, well, it's kind of difficult for me to maintain that guru facade when my family's all fucked up. Marry that boy. I don't want it, Daddy. I'll give you $1 million. Ooh. Oh, yeah, he probably had to pay her off to get married. And he can. He's loaded. He is loaded. You morons have given this guy so much money. Good Lord. And he's trying to destroy you. He's trying to destroy you, Whitey, and you're giving him all this fucking money. Unbelievable. Yeah, of course his daughter's going to shill for him. Of course she's going to promote his content. Of course I don't know why anybody's listening to her. I've seen her. She's all right looking broad, but you can't see sunlight between those thighs. I mean, she's kind of chunky. I get my good-looking, blonde-haired Aryan daughter to shill for me. I'm so smart. Yeah, because she can't get a real job, right? Yeah. Oh, he's such a guru genius, this fucking guy. Such a functional family he has. Peterson's daughter, Michaela, encouraged podcast listeners to sign up as beta testers because they're beta cucks for the platform in its current beta phase. Beta is apropos in this case, 100%, before the intended August 2019 launch. Yeah, he's looking to make Uber money. He's looking to become a billion-dollar company. Corporation in his own right. We are in desperate need for a platform that doesn't arbitrarily decide to throw people off because of random crowd mentality. What? Does he see the irony here? Does he see the contradictions? Hey, pal, you're censoring people based on fucking crowd mentality. Oh, we'll allow you to post if I think it's thoughtful. And if, of course, 50% or more people like you, meaning mob mentality, meaning collectivist rules. So you're going to let the platform be run by crowd mentality. Random crowd mentality. But you're going to say you're not. Yeah. Typical critical theory, leftist way of doing things. Say the opposite of exactly what you're doing. On Twitter, Peterson also called for beta testers on June 10th. Per the Joe Rogan podcast this week, I'm back in a new platform called Think Spot. He probably got paid. Joe Rogan, that guy is a shill. Get on the wait list here. Yeah, because I really want to be on that. Exciting announcements coming very soon. All right, so let's recap. Free speech platform that allow you to say whatever you want, just so long as it's thoughtful, engaging, and the crowd agrees with what you say. Otherwise, you'll be censored. Woo! That is such a brilliant idea. Why don't you just let people say what the fuck they want? Why you gotta have these little fucking caveats added in? Why you gotta have all these little specific fucking requirements? You gotta be thoughtful, gotta be at least X amount of words, and everybody's gotta agree with it. And if everybody don't agree with it, you're gonna get shut down, and your comments are gonna be hidden, and nobody's gonna see them. Why don't you just remove all that? Well, then I wouldn't have a way to actually have control of things because I'm really an authoritarian in disguise. I want to be able to control what people say, or at the very least control the things I don't like insofar as being seen and not seen. This is a distinction with no distinction. This is a distinction with no real distinction. Oh, we won't kick people off. We'll just hide their fucking comments so nobody sees them. So same difference. You're great, yeah. This is really a good idea. This is going to work. Yeah, this is going to work real good. Yeah. This isn't going to encourage a mob mentality, mob rule, right? Yeah, this isn't going to attract more collectivists, more lefties than it is righties, right? Yeah. Wrong. This is a bad idea. This is going to fucking crash and burn, man. Crash and fucking burn. Yeah, let's see what he has to say. In fact, let's check this thing out. I think I've got the... let me see here. Okay, I've got the address for it. Let me open it up. All right, let's take a look. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. I put some hotkeys on my fucking keyboard so that I can switch screens. I hope it worked. So I don't know if you can read it. I forgot how to enlarge the screen. I forgot. I'll write it down later so I don't forget. Okay, ideas live here. Wow, that's brilliant, Jordy. You and your little visor looking at the world. Your little ideological visor that filters out everything and only lets in stuff that conforms to your ideology, Jordy. Think Spot is a collaborative community where individuals can explore and exchange ideas, just so long as everybody agrees with those ideas, and if they don't, we don't hear those ideas. Collaboratively. Community. Commune. Communism. Communist Jordy. The platform is an intellectual playground. Really? Yes, so long as on that playground, people get to decide who does and doesn't play. Hey, where's the dodgeball? I got the dodgeball. Let's play dodgeball. Okay, but we all decided we don't like you, so you got to go. Not too inclusive, is it? Yeah, it's an intellectual playground for censorship-free discourse. Oh, boy. So we're now in the world where people are so brainwashed, where they are so indoctrinated, they are so beholden to a particular guru-type cult figure that they will take everything that figure says as if it was reality. They look to this person to define and describe that which is real, and they no longer rely on their own faculties. Cult, ideology. Jordan Peterson hates ideology as he's pushing his own very real ideology, which very much mirrors the ideology of the radical left that he says he hates so much. Oh my God, yeah. Just listen to what I say. Don't think for yourself as I tell you to think for yourself, but really all I'm doing is cutting you off from other people and other people's views and other people's opinions, and I'm stopping you from being able to come together for one cause, which is your own survival, to work in your own best interest. Because, I don't realize that individuals can come together collectively but still be individuals. Carl Benjamin pushes the same idea that any type of coming together is some form of collectivism, no matter what the purpose of that coming together is. It's the same. Any type of collective is left. Carl Benjamin. Why does anybody listen to that idiot? Fucking A. Yeah, intellectual playground for censorship-free discourse, yeah. Just so long as you agree with the orthodox view, and if you don't, they're going to shut you up, right? Yeah. So you're essentially putting in a mechanism that will allow mob rule, and you're thinking this won't attract the people who are most inclined to act as a mob and then misuse that to shut down people they don't want to listen to? No, that doesn't happen on other so-called free speech platforms like Facebook and Twitter, does it? Jordy hasn't learned his lessons, has he? Or has he? He actually has, right? He's just looking to make bank, make coin, right? Yeah, he's learned his lessons very well. This is... Believe me, it's a free speech platform, even though it's nothing of the sort. I put in these little mechanisms that's going to allow me to really control the content that's there. But I'm going to tell you it's free speech. So, since you're so indoctrinated and beholden to me in regards to how you view reality, and insofar as what you see as being real and valid, you'll just take my word for it. I hate this fucking guy. I hate this Kermit the Frog. I hate this Kermit the Frog sounding motherfucker. Hate him. Oh, God. He's just such a liar. He's such a liar, this fucking guy. You people need to wake up and smell the fucking coffee. Again, he is not your friend. Not your friend. All right, let me check real quick. That's not right. What is that? Okay. All right, we're good. And I'm not dropping frames. All right. So, yeah, don't listen to this fucking guy. Don't fucking believe anything he says. He is a lying mofo. Woo! Oh, mama. Oh, that's some hot coffee. All right. And by the way, again, I'm going to be posting a video about Jordan Peterson, going more in-depthly into why he's such a scammer, such a fraud, such a false prophet after this show. All right, let's move on. Shall we? Ideas live here. Not really, they live there just so long as you, Jordan Peterson, think they're thoughtful. And the mob that's there that pretty much goes along with and agrees with you and thinks with a mob mentality, even though they have divided themselves individually and made it all but impossible to come together collectively to fight people who have decided to come together collectively. Well, they'll act in a mob way there, right? Yeah. Some free speech platform, yeah. What a joke. What a joke. All right, let's move on. So, adults heckle, next story, adults heckle 13-year-old as she tells city council abortion is murder. Yeah, they heckle her, but she keeps going. What a trooper. By the way, I'm against the shilling of kids in every circumstance. I don't care if I agree with the kid or disagree with. Don't be using your kids to push your agenda. It's like that 15, 16-year-old girl in Sweden, the one with autism, who the left brought forward to talk about climate change. We need to give up our freedom. and devote 100% of our economies to solve the problem of global warming, or we will all die in a massive flood like it says in the Bible. Do. Because, I'm just a sock puppet who's been given the talking points like AOC, and I don't really know or believe anything I'm saying. Or I believe it because they've told me it's true, these authoritarians that I put all this trust in, and because they're paying me. It's okay for her to be shilled, right? But meanwhile, you got these same leftist scumbags that think it's perfectly okay to shill her. And how about that, what was his name? David Hogue, back when that faux survivor who was actually in bed at home, skipping school when the attack happened on his school. And he showed up later with a fucking camera. Right. Yeah. Ooh, that's okay. That's okay. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to heckle this boy or shut him up. These are just kids. You shouldn't talk so harshly to these kids. You should let them speak. Blah, 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 blah. They have a right to speak. Yeah, and we should listen to them. You can't criticize children. Meanwhile, you can if they're on the other side of the aisle, right? If they don't agree with me, all the rules are out the window. I get to heckle them mercilessly. Wow, you're so brave. You're so brave attacking a 13-year-old child. You cowards. Oh, boy. And by the way, I have no problem with people criticizing this girl, but don't try to enact the heckler's veto, right? I mean, she has a right to speak, I suppose, right? I'm just not for kids doing this. It can be traumatic for them, can leave a lasting negative impression. It's just not good for them. And by the way, they're 13. She's 13. What does she know? And this Olga girl, or whatever the fuck her name is, Miss Wannabe Pippi Longstockings with her fucking little fucking pigtails and shit, trying to make her look innocent and all that, so we should listen to her more because, out of the mouths of babes comes fucking nonsense, okay? A brave 13-year-old girl recently stood in front of the North Carolina City Council to speak out for the unborn babies who are being killed in abortions. Yeah, her mother and father put her up to this. Mommy and Daddy, why don't you get up and talk, okay? Why don't you get up and talk and let the power of your arguments sway listeners? Of course, if they're lefties, what you have to say isn't going to sway them because they're ideologically polarized. No facts, no figures, no statistics that you quote will sway them, okay? They're brainwashed. They're beyond reason. As she did so, abortion activists in the audience began heckling the young girl. What is this, a stand-up comedy routine? We got hecklers in a city hall now? What the fuck? Where's the security? Where are the armed guards escorting these people out of the building? Yeah, you have a right to talk when you're at the fucking podium. There's rules involved, you know? This isn't the so-called free speech community where everybody can talk that Jordan Peterson is supposedly pushing, which is anything but. No, this is a fucking city council meeting with rules, with protocols. But no, I'm just going to stand up and heckle some young kid because I'm a lefty and because I'm pretty sure the city council agrees with my ideology, which I don't think they do. They might not. But anyway, yeah, they heckled the young girl and pushed another child to tears. Well, that's what the left does. They really don't care about children. They talk about kids like they care about kids, but they really don't. To the left, kids are just a weapon they can use to push their agenda. Kids can be seen and used as off-limit shills. It's more difficult to justify criticizing a child because we can then attack the opposition and say, you heartless bastard, you're criticizing this child. How dare you? Meanwhile, we do it. Meanwhile, we do exactly what we criticize others for doing. They're a bunch of hypocrites. So Addison Woosley, 13, joined a number of pro-life advocates on June 4th in urging the Raleigh City Council to adopt a resolution making it a sanctuary city for the unborn, according to the report. By the way, sounds like a good idea to me. On ultrasounds, the baby tries to run away from the disturbing instruments that try to kill the baby. Woosley said the baby's mouth opens wide in a scream when being killed. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a living organism, so when harmed, of course it feels pain. These babies are alive. Well, yeah, they feel that they feel being killed when they're being killed. Yeah, I would think. It hurts them, and there is nothing they can do about it. Yeah, that's right. There's no way around it. Abortion is murder. Hard to argue. But, of course, leftists will do so anyway because, well, I want to be able to continue to ride the cock carousel and have no responsibility. So, kill the baby. Kill the baby. Kill the baby. Bunch of freaks. In a video of her speech, grumblings and comments can be heard in the background. They grew louder as she continued. Well, yeah, speech tends to trigger people who are easily triggered. Woolsey said she hopes that someday Americans will look back on legalized abortion with the same horror as they do slavery. And good luck with that one. We've become a morally bankrupt country. Abortion reminds me of slavery, she said. Uh-oh, you're attacking one of the main weapons of the left and using it against them. They don't like that. They don't like that when you fight fire with fire. I'm going to release another video later on talking about that. Yeah. Using their own tactics against them? No. We're the only ones that get to talk about slavery, goddammit. We are the champions of the oppressed. Not you, you little bitch. Shut your mouth. Owners said that their slaves were their property and they could do whatever they wanted with them. Yeah. According to Liberty Headlines, someone yelled that her comments were inappropriate. Yeah. Hate speech, because really all hate speech is a speech I don't agree with. Another person told her not to speak for black people and to go save your own. What does that mean? This is the same stupid logic that says only women can talk about women's issues, and then women run around talking about men's issues all day. Fuck off! I have a right to an opinion, you cunt. So here's more from the local news. Are you choosing to be like the plantation owner, flogging the little black child? She said, wait. These are the same people who talk ad infinitum about the evils of slavery and they're white. So you can talk about it. You can talk about it, but she can't, right? Because she doesn't agree with you. Yeah, I do as I say, not as I do. Woo! Oh, this is great. Or are you going to protest, even if it is going to cost you your life, like Martin Luther King Jr.? Oh, you're using one of their main shills, black people, against them. It's not wise. They're going to flip out. That's when the shouting grew stronger. Yeah, see? You all are so disrespectful. A woman in the audience, you all, not you all, oh boy. A woman in the audience shouted at the anti-abortion speakers. Let black people speak for black people when we are in the room. We can speak for ourselves. Well, you don't speak for black people. You're an individual, right? I love this. So she is an individual, can't speak about black people's experience because she's not black. Meanwhile, you might be a black person, but you didn't experience slavery, and you don't speak for all black people either. I didn't see you go up for election, and all black people elect you as their representative. So what are you talking for either, bitch? Shut the fuck up. Sit your ass down, too, bitch. I love it. I love it. Of course, this is the collectivization of America. Individuals can no longer comment unless they are representing their quote-unquote group. Yeah. You're a black man, she said, directing her comments to Mayor Corey Branch. You need to stand up and recognize. Oh, boy. Yeah, because, as a black man, you have a particular ideological duty to go the way of the party line, which is, the Democratic way, which is pro-abortion. Don't pass this evil ordinance. Yeah. Meanwhile, sanctuary cities are fine for illegal aliens, right? These things are okay so long as they are things we as a collective agree with. Branch tried several times to call order. How hard did he try? He told the crowd that everyone has a right to speak and urged them to talk to the council instead of each other, the local news reported. Yeah. He didn't try very hard. I would have kicked those people out. The local news also observed the young boy crying quietly in the audience as people yelled around him. It's very interesting to me. They want to essentially make any kind of, right, this is the left, right? Groups are oppressed, right? Blacks are oppressed, women are oppressed. You're not allowed to comment on their oppression because it didn't happen to you. It's a form of defense mechanism to stop their ideas and their policy ideas from being challenged, right? Yeah, very clever leftist tactic. Surprising people still fall for it. So this year, as abortion activists push radical pro-abortion legislation across the country, some local cities and municipalities have been standing for life by declaring themselves sanctuary cities for unborn babies. See, this is the very thing that Jordan Peterson fears. This is the very thing Jordan Peterson fears. He fears essentially white, traditional, conservative Americans coming together and fighting back against the left's radicalism. See, he doesn't disagree with the left. He just thinks they're going too far and becoming too radicalized and waking the beast. He calls the right, white people essentially coming together. He's called, you don't believe me? Do your own research. These are his own words. White people coming together, collectivizing to fight back against the left are the beast. Don't wake the beast that is white nationalism, or we'll all die. Yeah, talk about hyperbole. Talk about fucking hyperbole. We're all going to end up in ovens. Because that's what happens with white people. All white people, when they come together, become Nazis and throw everybody else in ovens. If you're a gypsy, if you're black, if you're a Jew, look out, because when white people come together, it's bedlam. Yeah, okay, Jordy. Okay. Yeah. You ever going to take off that ideological visor you wear that reinforces those beliefs? No! Of course not. All right, let's move on. The rise of mass knife attacks around the world shows the problems isn't guns, it's people. Written by Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden. Isn't Tyler Durden that fucking character from Fight Club? Right? Where the guy had multiple personality disorder and he didn't know it. Not a bad movie, but I haven't seen it in years. I really don't like it, to be honest. Yeah. But anyway, that doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It is, but yeah, that's not my kind of movie. All right, so in China, where firearms are tightly restricted, it's probably no surprise that those who want to hurt people found another way to do it. Well, no shit. There's lots of ways to hurt people. You got fists, you got feet, you got knives, you got clubs, iron bars, whatever. The dramatic rise in knife attacks around the world shows that the problem these days isn't with guns, it's with people. Oh, but you're able to kill people more easily with guns, so that makes them a bigger problem that we should ban. Well, if body count is what you're concerned about, why aren't you concerned about obesity? That kills way more, 10 times more people in America every year than guns. What about cars? Kills 10 times more people than guns. I don't really care about that. I'm just using that as a pretext to justify banning them. Oh, okay. Because I want to feel safer and more secure, so I'm willing to give up my freedom. I see. Mass knife attacks have become so common over the years that a Chinese police department recently released a video to teach citizens how to defend themselves against knife-wielding assailants, and it has gone viral with 16 million views in just a few days. It has subtitles and some great advice that even I would be able to follow. By the way, spoiler, I'll tell you what the video does. It's like about 10 seconds. Guy shows a knife, cop turns, runs away real fast. That's what you need to do. If somebody pulls a knife on you, that's the best defense. Turn and run. If you're a big fatty, you're fucked. But you can always hope they won't want to chase a big fatty, which wouldn't really be that hard. So, you're fucked. Unless also your attacker is a big fatty, in which case it's just going to be a race of the fatties to see which fatty is able to run faster. Anyway, mass knife attacks. Okay, so all humor aside, some folks in the U.S. who want to do away with the Second Amendment are probably saying smugly, well, knife attacks are bad, but only people with guns can kill dozens of victims quickly. Those folks would be wrong. For example, in 2014, 33 people were killed and 130 more injured when a group of men coordinated a terror attack using knives at a train station in southwest China's Hunan province. Wow, that's a lot. 130 injured, 33 dead. It's a lot of dead. In 2015, 50 workers at a Chinese coal mine were killed in a coordinated knife attack. 50? Wow. Those are high numbers. 50 more workers were injured. It's almost as if the weapon doesn't really matter. In 2016, a facility for the disabled was attacked by a man with a knife. He killed 15 people and injured 45. Then later surrendered himself to the police. He's dead now. Yeah. They shoot you in the head and then charge your fucking relatives for the bullet. They don't waste time in China, bitch. The moment you sense the death, no appeals. We're just going to take you into a little side room, pop a cap in your ass, and that's it. They don't mess around in China. In 2017, 2018, people walking down a city street were injured when a man attacked them with a knife. 13 people were seriously injured by a knife-wielding assailant at a shopping mall in Beijing earlier this year. One woman died from her injuries. This tells me that it isn't really a problem with guns. It's a problem with people. Instead of school shootings, they have school knifings. Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know how a knife works, it doesn't take very much effort to kill. I mean, really. And it can be more effective and a guaranteed kill compared to a fucking gun, which is pretty random. And, get a pretty good aim. Pretty good fucking aim with a gun. And, you're not always going to hit the target. But knives, you're up close and personal, baby. Doesn't take much for me to stick that in your fucking heart. And even if you have advanced defense training, you may not be able to disarm me or move aside my hand before I plunge that knife into your ass. Okay? And body armor doesn't stop knives, by the way. I mean, unless we're talking like uber advanced military body armor. Otherwise, knives go right through. Body armor is generally speaking designed to stop bullets, not knives, okay? Bullets which are made of lead, okay? So while in the United States, school shootings have become shockingly commonplace, that's because that's what's available. If guns weren't available, they'd just use knives, right? What many don't know is that in China, where gun control is strict, school knife attacks are a frequent threat, right? In China, they have fences and security gates, and you can't get into that school unless you're a parent, you have ID. Yeah, they protect their kids, unlike in America. On the very same day as the Sandy Hook shooting in the United States, a man with a knife injured 22 children and one adult at a school in Chengping village in the southern province of Guangxi. Knife attacks in schools in China are common. Last year, a man climbed over a wall of a kindergarten and attacked 11 students. In 2016, a man in the southern province of Henan stabbed 10 children before killing himself. And another man killed 3 students at a school in 2014 before jumping off a building. Oh, jeez. So, it's almost as if the problem is mental illness. And the killings themselves and the weapon used are just a symptom of the problem. Boy, so let's, instead of treating the source of the problem, we'll treat the symptom. And that'll solve the problem. No! Perhaps the worst spate of stabbings occurred in 2010 when attackers targeted schools on 3 consecutive days. Wow, really? Just last month, a man wielding a knife killed 9 children and injured 10 others outside a middle school where he says he was bullied. This isn't just a problem in China. One guy was able to kill 9 kids. Can you imagine if he had been really dedicated and had at least a modicum of training and been wielding 2 knives? Assassin style! Oh, fuck. Or one downward, one upward, just running around the crowd, fucking stabbing like the Energizer Bunny. He could have killed a whole lot more people. Oh, man. There have been mass knife attacks all over the world. In the UK, oh boy. Well, of course, the UK is what proves the gun narrative wrong, which is why the mainstream media never talks about London and all the knife attacks there. Because guns are banned there. And yet they have a murder-death-kill rate above that of New York City, which is loaded with guns. Illegal guns, that is, because the good people aren't allowed to have guns in New York. We have the Second Amendment, but local municipalities can vote that away. Constitutional republic, my ass. In the UK, there has been a deadly knife attack every 3rd day of 2018. In 2017, Met Police recorded 37,443 recorded knife offenses and 6,694 gun offenses. What? I thought that banning guns got rid of guns. Apparently criminals don't care about following the law. Imagine that. Geez, Louise. So the criminals are still getting guns. The only people that don't have guns are the good guys. It's almost as if the good guys having guns has no effect on the bad guys' ability to get guns. So why would you take away the good guy's ability to have a gun? Yeah, there couldn't be any nefarious reasons for that on the part of the government. Oh, no, they don't want to take away your guns so you can't defend yourself against government tyranny. Nah. The problem is so bad that a judge has suggested banning the sale of large kitchen knives and that those who already have kitchen knives should file them down to avoid stabbings. Okay. Any of these motherfuckers heard of a Home Depot? And a grinder? Or a whetstone? You'll get a metal rod somewhere and just fucking file it down on the sidewalk to a sharp point. You go on your outside and use your back stairs, which are usually a very rough, abrasive concrete, and file down a point. You can get yourself a grinder. Get a grinder, bitch. $50, $60 grinder. You can grind out hundreds of knives and sell them on the black market, which is, of course, what people are doing. The criminals, that is. Not the law-abiding citizens. They're disarming themselves and making themselves easy targets for the criminals. Yeah, this is so stupid. Yeah, this is a lefty judge, of course. What a dummy. Yeah, I have an idea. Let's tell our nice law-abiding citizens to grind down the points on their knives. Well, how the fuck is that going to solve the knife problem, you idiot? They're law-abiding citizens. If they're law-abiding citizens and they do what you say, they're just not able to defend themselves against criminals. If they're bad guys, they're not going to do what you say, and they'll get knives however they can, or they'll make them. Knives are pretty rudimentary. You can make a stabbing implement without an edge pretty fucking easy. Hell, you can go get a stick and use an edged knife without a fucking point, which you're so fixated on, to fucking carve a nice sharp point on there, which you can then put in a fire and blacken and harden and have a real nice stabbing weapon. Morons! In 2016, 2 soldiers were attacked by a man with a knife in Belgium. And a few days ago, a prison inmate on day leave stabbed 2 police officers, then took their guns and shot them. Oh, lovely. Lovely! 4 people were injured, and 1 also was killed when a knife-wielding assailant attacked them in Paris last week. Boy, oh boy, yeah. City of love. City that loves killing its own people by allowing in hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of black and brown immigrants that hate you. Illegal aliens, excuse me. I'm going to give you welfare money so you can go buy knives and guns illegally to kill us. Because it's really an invasion in disguise. Yeah, it's meant to displace the local white population and replace them with useful idiots that are dependent on the government. Great. Don't wake up, Whitey. Don't collectivize. Don't become the evil, nasty, dangerous beast. Meanwhile, the real beast, that is the leftist beast, is running around and rabidly gobbling you all up. While Jordan Peterson tells those of you on the right, don't come together because you're an evil beast when you do so, Whitey. These are just a few examples, and I haven't dug any further than the first page of Google. I could go on, but I think you get the point. What happens if you take away guns? In each of these cases, something different was blamed. Some of the attackers were shouting Allah Akbar as they stabbed their victims. Some of the attackers cited crippling stress. Yeah, I raped that 10-year-old boy because of a sexual emergency. I hadn't had sex in 3 months. God. Some of the attackers were bullied or mistreated. Yeah, some of the attackers were mentally ill and had a history of psychological problems. Some of the attackers had religious or ethnic differences from their victims. One attacker just didn't like disabled people. Disabled phobia? Well, what would be the word for a phobia of disabled people? Is anyone afraid of disabled people? And if you dislike them, does that qualify as a phobia? It seems so, because the left likes to use phobia all the time. They use phobia all the fucking time. You're a homophobe! Just don't like gay people. That's a phobia! But I'm not afraid of them. And a phobia is an irrational fear. Well, I'm a postmodernist. I change and fiddle around and morph language to fit my intended purpose. So, to me, it means dislike. Okay. You can't fix people who want to harm others for their various reasons by taking away guns. No. But if you go by the less logic, you can cut down the amount of victims that they'll create, which isn't really true because, again, London, more murders than New York City. You can only make it harder for the rest of us to defend ourselves against them. Take away guns and you get knives. Take away knives and you get improvised explosives. Yeah, take away improvised explosives and knives, you'll get bats and clubs and the same thing, I guess. Iron bars, little fucking claw things like Freddy had in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. There is no way to take away the yen that some people have to kill others. And if I am involved in a knife fight, well, personally, I'd rather have a gun. Yeah, you and me both. You and me fucking both, because if somebody's 8 feet away with a knife and I got a gun, well, if I get it out and pulled and pointed at them, I'm good. But if it's holstered, but their knife ain't, I'm fucked. Anyway, yeah, I'd rather have a gun in most, if not all of these instances. Okay, so there you go. There you go. One more story here. It's already been an hour. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'll cover it. All right. Belinda Belinda Bennett. Okay. All right, yeah. This will be the affirmative action story of the day, right? Yeah. Talking about the poor, oppressed minority who made it. She got ahead against all odds. Even though the narrative is telling you that Blackie can't get ahead, Whitey holds him down. Except all those black millionaires and billionaires and successful doctors and lawyers out there kind of sort of disprove that. But hey, we'll continue to push the idea that black people are oppressed and they can't get ahead, even though we have countless examples of that not being true. Okay. Belinda Bennett is setting sail as the world's first, get this, black Wayman cruise ship captain. Woo! Wow, she gets to use the steering wheel. Boy, oh boy, they're finally letting a black woman drive the boat. Woo! Now, they got a wheelman for that, or it's on automatic pilot, whatever. I don't know. Anyway. All right, so if you're a woman working in the cruise ship industry, are you kidding? I wouldn't work in that industry, man or woman. You hear about all the nasty diseases people get working on these cruise ships? No. Those are floating, floating petri dishes. No way. Then you're more than likely to be the only woman or one of very few women working within your organization. What are you talking about? I've seen cruise ships. There's lots of waymen working on those things. What the fuck are you talking about? This is so dumb. This is so dumb. What about the Love Boat? Had lots of wayman staff on that. TV show, but, you know, what are they talking about? You're likely to be one of very few women working on a cruise ship. There's plenty of women working on cruise ships. What is this bullshit? Right now, women make up only 18 to 20% of the cruise ship workforce. Oh, and I'm sure that's because of racism or sexism, right? Because, you know, it couldn't be that women just don't want to work on a boat because it sucks. Because it's a shitty work atmosphere, environment. You're sleeping in cramped fucking quarters. It's not very comfortable. And women, more than anything else, value their fucking comfort. Oh, yeah, it couldn't be that. No, it couldn't just be that the type of work offered on a cruise ship doesn't appeal to most women. No, because women don't have any shared preferences, right? Yeah, no. We're all a blank canvas, right? Yeah, it's all down to sexism and racism and oppression, right? Yeah, no evidence for that, but hey. So, with the first woman cruise ship captain not being appointed until 2007. But I thought you just said, oh, she's the first black woman cruise ship captain. Okay, so let me get this straight. 18 to 20% of the workforce on average is waymen. So you already have a very small pool of applicants, okay? And the majority of the workforce is men, not to mention the fact that men, en masse, are better, more suited to leadership roles, and they're much more likely to apply for those kind of jobs. Hence, you have a much larger pool to draw from in regards to men than you do in regards to women. Yet it's somehow a surprise that men being better suited to this type of role, and there being 4 times more of them in this workforce, more than 4 times, it's somehow a surprise that there's not that many female captains. I don't think this is a surprise at all. I'm not surprised. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Breaking the glass ceiling. Ain't no glass ceiling, ladies. There's more of you in the workforce, okay? There's more of you in the workforce than men. Enough with this glass ceiling bullshit. Women and men have biological preferences that influence the decisions that they make. There's no sexism going on here. Give me a break. Breaking the glass ceiling in this industry is Belinda Bennett, who is the world's first black wayman cruise ship captain. Let's take a look at this broad. Belinda. Belinda, let's see. Oh, that's not good. Land whale alert! Land whale alert! Woo! Yeah. According to Forbes, this got into Forbes. Talk about virtue signaling. Who gives a fuck? First, female cruise ship captain. Bennett has worked for the cruise line Windstar Cruises for 14 years. She came to the cruise ship line in 2005 and worked her way up from second officer. She was a second officer right out of the gate? Really? Wow, talk about black privilege. Oh no, there's only white privilege! I got my job through affirmative action, but I'm not privileged. Oh no! Yeah, okay, sweetheart. To chief officer to now captain, which is a position she was appointed in 2016. But you're just talking about it now? Who gives a fuck? Currently, she is the captain of the MSY Windstar, as in charge of sailing the ship through the Caribbean in the winter and Europe in the summer. I never understood cruises. I don't get this. You're on a big fucking boat in the middle of the ocean with a pool. So retarded. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't get it. It's just a boat. I mean, except for the fucking scenery, which you could simulate. It's just a bunch of gambling and buffets and shit, right? That's usually not very good food. I don't get it. So you're on this listing ship, getting fucking seasick, and gambling away all your money. You could just go to a casino. Just go to a casino with a bunch of LED screens on the walls simulating ocean. Same difference. Ay. Except a lot cheaper. Except for the gambling part, but gambling's gambling. Meanwhile, you're just not having to spend money on a fucking ticket when you go into a fucking casino. And you can see Pirates of the Caribbean when you go to fucking Las Vegas, right? And a mini Eiffel Tower. Just go to Las Vegas. You'll have more fun. Except for the gambling. I would never gamble. I don't understand why people do that. It's so stupid. You're going to lose. The house always wins, okay? Yeah, so currently she's the captain. Okay, I really need to remember to mark my spot. Growing up on a small island called St. Helena, which is between South America and South Africa. Bennett said, South America and South Africa. Huh? Okay, so she's from an island. She's a person of color, but somehow she was able to get ahead. Where is this oppression I keep hearing about that's holding black people down? I don't see it. Bennett says she's always had a love for the ocean. Well, you live on an island, so. She started her career in the cruise ship industry at the age of 17, working on the island's local ship called RMS St. Helena. From there, she went on to train as a cadet and admits that her journey to moving up the ranks has been met with a lot of pushback. In what form? Are you going to give us any specific examples? No, I'm just going to say I was met with pushback. And I'll expect you to believe me and take my word because I'm a Wayman. Okay. And hard work as a result of her gender and race. Well, we don't know that you worked hard. I mean, generally speaking, when people reach a high degree of success in life, we can assume they worked hard. But when it comes to black people and women and other minorities, we have to assume they got some help, that they got some privilege, they got an extra bit of push, help, charity from the system that whitey don't get, that men don't get. Because they do. It's called affirmative action. Quotas. Unfortunately, I had a rough start. Whined this broad. Yeah, she sounds real tough. Whining, moaning, groaning. As she has this privileged position. When I was training as a cadet, I sailed with the chief officers who made me work harder than the other guys. How so? Can you give us examples of how they made you work harder? Did you have to do 85 push-ups as opposed to their 20? Yeah, were no push-ups involved. Can you give me any objective examples of how you were made to work harder than the other people? No, that was just my feeling. I see. Okay. During your cadetship, you're starting out as a sailor. So you do every job that they do. And you somehow perceive that as having to work harder, even though they're doing the same jobs as you? Might it be that your perception wasn't quite in line with reality? Might it be that it seemed harder for you because you're a Wayman? I had a chief officer, unfortunately, who made me work later than the other sailors. I bet there's a story there. How do we know that you weren't working later? Because you didn't do very well and you had to work extra time to learn what the other people were learning? Could it be that you didn't do a good job during your training for the day, so you had to work extra time to make up the difference? No, it couldn't be that. There could be any number of reasons you had to work later. And by the way, she's not telling us how much later she had to work. So we're supposed to automatically assume that you having to work later means sexism or racism or both? Why? And by the way, you're not telling us the reasons you had to work later. You're not telling us the reasons he gave you. I would assume he gave you reasons, but you assumed, oh no, it was evil racism and sexism. He's making me work later because I'm a Wayman, not because I did a shitty job during the day and didn't really learn the lessons he was teaching, so I had to be made to work later so that I could make up for what I didn't learn or didn't do during the day. Okay. So they would knock off for the day, and I would be left outside continuing to work until it got dark. Continuing to work because you didn't finish, didn't learn, didn't get down pat the work that you'd been doing during the day. And of course, she attributes that to racism, sexism, because she's been taught by her narrative, by her whitey-hating, whitey-blaming ideology that any difference in treatment can be boiled down to racism and sexism. Imagine what she could have accomplished if she didn't have this hateful, evil, self-fulfilling narrative in her mind, which she somehow seemed to break away from. To a certain extent, anyway, with the help of affirmative action. Oh, but she's oppressed. Bennett describes the experience as a make-or-break time and said that as someone who refused to be broken, she pushed through. You were guaranteed a slot. They wanted a virtue signal about how progressive they were. Look, we got a black captain. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, boy. After working on a private yacht of Monaco for 2 years, Bennett went back to school to get her master's and then tried to get work her way into the leadership ranks of the yachting industry. But she was again met with barriers when she says an agent in Antibes sat her down and told her that finding a job in yachting would be hard because she is more educated than most of the captain. And she's a woman and she's black. It's a private industry. They're allowed to discriminate. And by the way, we only have your word for that. He's also saying you're more educated than most of the captains, meaning you have less real-world experience. Okay, so what he's really saying is you have less real-world practical experience, right? You have less real-world practical experience, and you have more useless education that essentially has labeled you a liberal, pinhead, leftist moron, which is essentially what anybody with half a brain will perceive you as if you've got a lot of education, which is generally true. The more time you spend in college, the less useful you are in the practical, pragmatic, objective world as a worker, as an employee. Oh, but no, it's because I was black. Yeah. I doubt this person told her that, and it's because you're black. I'm sure they told her it was because she was more educated. She probably added in that little end bit. And of course, who's going to say that she wasn't told that, right? She's just naming some anonymous person who met with me and told me it's because I'm too educated. Oh, and that I'm black. I would very much be willing to bet that she added that. That was her perception. And I'm going to say the guy said that. And since I'm not naming the guy, he's not going to come forward because nobody's going to know who he is and call him out. And then he'd be forced to come forward and reveal that I'm lying about that. So, of course, she can make these claims, right? She can make whatever claim she wants. Any claim she wants, and they'll believe her because, well, believe the Wayman, me too. Using the criticism to find motivation for a different route, Bennett left the yacht industry and joined the cruise ship industry in 2005, where she landed a job with Windstar Cruises. Amazing how that discrimination you said existed suddenly vanished. You were able to find a job very easily, it seems. Yeah, but my life was so difficult. Yeah. These people face any adversity, they chalk it up to racism, sexism. Not that they may not be working hard enough. Not that they might be not be smart enough. No, it's got to be racism, sexism. Most recently, Bennett's work in the industry has led her to be awarded with the prestigious Merchant Navy Medal, awarded for meritorious service in the UK. While she says most of the career goals that she initially set for herself have been accomplished, she admits that getting to where she is today has not been an easy feat. It's not supposed to be easy, pinhead, but you shouldn't be virtue signaling and saying that you worked harder than a man, which I'm sure she'll say. Being a woman, you have to work extra hard to prove yourself, even more than a man. I didn't read this article beforehand, by the way. This is why I'm the prognosticator of all prognosticators. I can see where these people are going before they go there. I have to work harder. I'm going to play into that popular trope and put myself forward as one of those waymen that had to work twice as hard. Because if I'm a wayman, I have to work twice as hard as a man, except that's not true. That's a total lie. That's just something women like to spread. And they subjectively feel that way because they have less stamina, they have less strength, and on average, their IQs are not as high as men. So to them, it seems harder. It seems harder in their subjective experience. And then they look around at the other men. I mean, excuse me, Freudian slip there, because these feminist women, they seem like men. They act like men. You gotta subconsciously view them as men, as my little slip of the tongue, my little Freudian slip showed. And that's, by the way, why this Wayman's got no man. And why most of you feminist Waymen have no men. Because you act like men. And we view you as men. Subconsciously. And so we steer clear of your ass. Yeah, you had to work harder than a man. No. Your subjective experience leads you to feel that way because it seems like you're having to work harder than the men, which you actually are. Because, again, you have half the upper body strength, overall half the strength, a lot less stamina. You don't deal with stress as well. This is, by the way, a scientific fact. Women do not deal with stress nearly as well. Okay, this is on a biological level. Okay, so she is objectively working harder. That's true. But not really. She's essentially being treated just like the men. Okay, you do understand you can be working harder while doing the same amount of work. It's just that you are inferior in terms of strength and stamina and stress, ability to deal with stress, which is just another word for real life and adversity. So, yeah, it's harder, but just for you, okay? Objectively, you are being set the same standards as the men. But from her point of view, she's working harder. And then she says crap like this. She doesn't seem to realize that, no, you're not being given more work. See, that's the perception she wants you. She wants you to perceive things that way, like she's being given more work. She's being treated unfairly. No, you're just a woman. And you're inferior in any number of ways in that environment. And that leads you to feel like you are being worked harder when you're really not. Some men might not like that, but that's the way it is. I'm driven. I wanted to be a captain, and so I am. Great. You had to do the same work as the men, who are more physically able and more able to deal with stress, and they're more able to deal with a stressful, harsh environment. Okay. Although, I wouldn't be surprised if she got given special treatment. And again, she's black, so you know she got affirmative action. She was given a meritorious award from the UK. The UK is one of the top 5 feminist countries in the world. And I'm assuming this is a UK cruise line because she was given an award by the UK. So, yeah, I definitely think she got some affirmative action. So, I don't even believe that she was forced to do the same work as the men. I think she was given special treatment, and she still had a hard time. You have to look at the things people say critically. You have to look with a critical eye, okay? You can't just take their word for it, all right? Anyhow, that's it. That is it for this show. If you like my content, please feel free to subscribe and hit the like button and also the notification bell next to the subscribe. By the way, something I forgot to mention at the start of the show, follow me on BitChute. I've got more subscribers on BitChute than I do on YouTube because YouTube is shadow banning my content. They're throttling my views. They're stopping my videos from popping up in recommended feeds. So they're throttling me like 80, 90% or more. So I'm getting more views and more viewers, more subscribers on BitChute. So go to BitChute. Follow me there. Okay? I think everybody that's on YouTube is on BitChute as well. You can find their content there, and you can take away more ad dollars from YouTube, which is a good thing. Even though I guess they didn't learn their lesson, losing $70 billion. $70 billion last year. We lost $70 billion in ad revenue because we keep censoring people, and apparently we're censoring people that the majority want to see, and we're not getting as many views, and so we're losing ad revenue. Imagine that. Imagine that. You censor lots and lots of popular people, and you lose money. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. And of course, follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and if you'd like to support my work, please consider making a donation at therealistphilosopher.com/donate. I'm on Subscribestar, Patreon. If you don't have a hate on for Patreon, you can support me there. But if you don't like Patreon, you can go to Subscribestar or TippyStream, okay, which has a very low processing fee for their services. So, and you can make one-time donations on TippyStream. So, yeah, easy way to donate. And the TippyStream, you can use PayPal to make a donation. And again, subscribe to me here, but especially subscribe to me on BitChute because you never know how long I might be here, although YouTube seems to be a little more Machiavellian now. Instead of just outright banning people, they're just going to throttle them and censor them to the point where they get almost no views. But yeah, should I disappear from YouTube, you can find me at therealistphilosopher.com. You can find me at BitChute, The Realist Philosopher. All those links are in the description. And that's it for this show. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.